My guest tonight is Dr. Peter Olumuji, the FCT Administration's Secretary, Command and Control Center. Dr. Peter Olumuji, welcome again to Dateline Abuja and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and thanks for having me.
I mean, it's interesting. We always start the year with you.
Can you just imagine?
Because you start off the year while everyone is busy doing Christmas and New Year's. We know that you're busy checking crime and criminality in the FCT. How has it been covering the FCT during the Yuletide, and what operations do you have ongoing?
Yeah, during the Yuletide, it has been a successful one because there was this heightened apprehension that the Yuletide season will come with a lot of security threats, and the Minister of the Federal Capital was particular about ensuring that people celebrate the Yuletide season safe and secured. And they had to have emergency meetings with the security agencies, and the Commissioner of Police, FCT, assured him with all other service commanders that they will put in all their best to make every resident of the FCT enjoy the Yuletide.
So there was no incident?
And that happened.
No incident at all?
No incident at all. And that is because there's a strong synergy among the various agencies in the Federal Capital Territory.
I see that your office is still, you know, dismantling shanties and whatnot. And some of the complaints that people have about the dismantling of shanties, and we've talked about this so many times, me and you on this program, is the fact that when you dismantle those shanties, the places go fallow. And in a week or two, the people come back again and rebuild those shanties. And then there's also the question about the fact when you destroy those shanties, some people think you're basically unleashing criminals on the FCT residents because, you know, where do they go to? They come and they start to sleep in motor parks and whatnot. But then our streets aren't safe anymore.
You know, when people's perception out there will come because some do not really understand how the security operations are being carried out. At every point in time, we just don't go into any place to demolish shanties. It is always driven by high level of intelligence gathering that have been made. And what the FCT Police Commissioner focused on more is preventive and preemptive measures in tackling security. So under the Operation Sweep, which is one of the main operations that is ongoing right now, yes, you know, under the Operation Sweep, the mandate is to ensure that the residents of the FCT will have a peaceful time in the FCT, and they have various objectives. And part of the objective is the removal of shanties. These shanties, we all know, harbors criminal elements. And if you allow these criminal elements to remain there, then they are the people that start to attack the residents. So what do we do? What we do now, based on the intelligence-driven actions, we go in there and remove them. And to a large extent, these criminal elements do not remain in the FCT. They move out because
they
FCT
go back to their
states or wherever they want to go, but not in FCT. But most of the time, people think, oh, when you remove them from point A, they go to point B. No.
Yes.
And again, I want to also restate here, just like the Honorable Minister have said, somebody has been given a plot of land, you have refused to develop it. Then these people that build shanties now come there to hibernate. Now, if the minister decides to revoke such a land, the news we hear out there will be totally different. Nobody will link it to insecurity. So that is why we are using this medium to encourage those who own plot of land that are undeveloped to start to develop them. When you do this, as you take over, occupy those areas, these bad boys too will not have a safe haven to stay.
The Nigerian Bar Association recently had a protest march, and rightfully so. One of their colleagues was killed during these one-chance operations. They're basically robbers and kidnappers. Yeah. It does feel like, and then of course we heard about the nurse who was also killed by one-chance operators. It feels like it's rearing its ugly head again in the FCT.
Well, it's very unfortunate that those two incidences had to come up early this year, and all the success stories that were recorded, it's as if we've not done anything. But notwithstanding, if you look at October to December 2025, over 41 kidnappers were apprehended. And if you also look at within that same period of 3 months, over 12 one-chance operators syndicates were busted and apprehended, and 8 victims were rescued. One basic thing you should know that nobody is happy that such an incident occurred. We felt very, very bad. And that also caused that we are going to redouble our effort, and that's what we have been doing. In fact, we realize that people are not taking personal security very, very serious. We are not saying the incident that occurred to these two beloved sisters of ours is because of that. But we want to also use this avenue to advise people to take personal security very serious. Just like I tried to carry out a social survey, during the period. Firstly, I got a commercial vehicle, a painted Abuja commercial vehicle with a friend inside. And we said, okay, let's go around and let the driver pick up passengers. And 1 or 2 people entered, females, and all through the journey of 15 minutes, they were all on their phone, chatting on WhatsApp and the rest. Then we also did it with an unpainted vehicle also. And the result was still the same thing. Now, why am I bringing up this? What that simply says is that most people are not conscious of their environment, especially when they are inside a commercial vehicle. And these people try to look at vulnerable people, people that are not really conscious of aware of the environment. And that's when they can spring these surprises. And we also want to advise, anytime you find yourself in such a difficult situation, try as much as possible not to struggle with them. Just like the popular saying goes, it says, do not struggle with a man with a gun. Likewise, if you find yourself in such a situation, let your safety be number one. And how can you stay alive?
Yes. Not to cut, because I don't want to miss that point.
Okay.
The people who allegedly carried out that one-chance operation on the barrister, I hear they've been apprehended?
Yes. At least 3 of them have been apprehended.
They confessed?
Yes, they confessed that they are the one that committed the crime. And also, part of what they talked about is that the barrister was not cooperating with them, and that is why they did that. So we are using this medium to also advise. If you find yourself in such a very tight situation, just cooperate with them. And one good thing is that when you do that, after you have been released and you give law enforcement information, they will continue to track them. What law enforcement did was to use the woman's phone, the barrister's phone, to get these suspects who have surely confessed. And investigations are still ongoing to apprehend others too. Now, if you look at one of the new directives by the CBN towards the end of the year, they talked about every POS operators that they should be registered, and they have some guidelines. Now, for this particular one, the police, through interagency collaboration with the CBN and the rest, that's when they were able to make that arrest. And for the transfer, because one of the things we've even heard is that when they abduct such a person, they start to tell you to call your family members, they transfer money into your account, and they use POS to do that. Part of the investigation ongoing is to unravel those accounts that the money went to. And that's not what I'll be talking about here right now. And again, we should know that under the FCT Police Command, we have this special crack squad called the Scorpion Squad. They are an elite squad that have been doing a wonderful job. And if you also look at the anti-kidnapping team, they've also been doing a very wonderful job.
I mean, it's fantastic, all the work. And you are correct. These teams have been working very hard. But as we wrap up, and maybe you can speak to this, as long as we don't have a functional transport system in the FCT, as long as it's not as coordinated as it should be, people are going to be entering along. Or at least what people call along. And most of these one-chance operations happen with along vehicles.
Yes, and mostly it is the women that always fall victim.
Because you've been standing in an inconvenienced place, position for a while, you're not comfortable and you want to go home, it's getting late, and you don't have actual buses that are coming to pick people up. It's always some makeshift arrangement. That particular transportation issue, if it's not sorted in the FCT, no matter how many squads you have, this along matter and this one chance operation thing, is it ever going to get Is it ever going to be stopped?
No, part of what we are focused on under the operation sweep is to dismantle illegal motor parks. The Transportation Secretariat is also trying to see how they can provide more bus stops closer to the people. But again, you cannot have bus stop everywhere. Even in other climb, you don't have that. But you have them at designated.
It's the buses. The
yes,
is not the terminal.
I'm coming.
It's the buses themselves.
I'm coming. The Transportation Secretariat of the FCT administration, they are working very, very hard in providing a template that will be more organized for the FCT residents. And that is coming up very soon. But one thing I should advise our people, when you are going out there to board any vehicle, be conscious of yourself. Use of cell phone when you are approaching or inside. Be conscious of your environment. That is what is called personal security. And remember, when we all play our own role too, it's called collective responsibility. You help the security agencies as they do their own work.
There's a number, isn't there?
Yes, the police control room number.
Do you have it by heart?
Yes.
Okay. What's the police control room number?
0032003913.
So if you find yourself in any situation,
just call the FCT control room number. And within less than 5 minutes, there'll be a response team there.
Well, Dr. Peter Olumuji, I want to thank you very much for making out the time to be with us on Dateline Abuja, and good luck with all the work I know you have ahead of you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.